Bitcoin has been trading sideways over the last couple of days. Is today the day that it finally breaks out of this range and hits its expected targets? In this video, we're going to be jumping down into the technical analysis of Bitcoin, reviewing what's been going on most recently and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Link is in the description down below. Let's jump right down into this video and start reviewing what's going on here with Bitcoin. So BTC paired up with USDT. We're using the BitGet spot exchange and the 1 hour time frame. As you can kind of see, we've been going sideways pretty much since we had this A wave structure out and peak out on the 7th of July. Okay, so we are now the 10th. So for the last 2 days or so over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it's just been kind of bouncing around. We did actually hit our B wave low target range over here. At least this was our original expectation. We actually came down a little bit deeper over here. Okay, so this actually tells us that we are still potentially looking for a little bit further to the downside, because it would mean that our B wave is over here and our C wave is over here, with our A wave being that original low. Okay, so we can see how it kind of got dragged out over the weekend, putting our actual larger B wave over here and a C wave still to go up higher. Okay, so as we can kind of see, time has kind of taken its toll and it's kind of been slowly grinding its way to the downside. Now, because I think there's still a little bit more to the downside to be had here, we should be a little bit cautious as to thinking we can go long on the market or anything like that. I think that time is coming though, just maybe give it a little bit longer. Let's actually see currently where this currently sits. Actually did bounce on the 1.236. To give it its due, it could be in a pretty sweet spot right here for now. Something about the structure and the stochastic RSI momentum moving isn't quite giving me that confidence yet. You can kind of see here that actually, to be fair, volumes aren't too bad. The volumes were decreasing on the way down. That gives us some encouragement, but the stochastic RSI is not really giving us the confidence in the market. Maybe this is a false flag. Maybe we are going to be looking for that move to the upside. If I were to trade this, I would want to make sure I am going into a long position, putting the stop loss nice and tight, just on a little bit lower than our swing low. So in this particular case, it would have to be lower than 29,957, and we'll target out that slightly higher range. Our expectations for this are actually reasonably good, so this is not a bad call, considering risk-reward ratio here. We would be targeting out this slightly higher range between 30,700 and 30,800. That gives us a nice risk-reward ratio just above 3.8. So again, not the worst scenario out there. And again, of course, if I am to be trading, I'm going to be trading on the BitGet exchange. Affiliate link is in the description below. This is my go-to platform for all of my leverage-based trading and about 90 to 95% of my spot trading. If you do go ahead and use that affiliate link in the description below, you will be entitled up to $8,000 in rewards for depending on how much you deposit and trade on the platform. Some tasks and things you have to do, but again, a fantastic incentive to join over at BitGet. Now, BitGet is making moves in the space. It's actually doing a pretty good job at kind of soaking up some of the damage from some of these other exchanges and so forth. And they're actually all about the users and the user experience as well. They're reasonably young, but they are learning and they are developing at a rapid pace. So if you're looking for another exchange to kind of add to the repertoire of exchanges that you currently have, why not check out BitGet? Affiliate link is in the description below. I don't think you will regret it. Let's move on down over into our charts again. So that's kind of my approach on the smaller time frame stuff. On the smaller time frame stuff, it looks like we have this move to the upside, and we'll be targeting out the fair value gaps. There's two fair value gaps, and our target range sits slap bang between the two of them. So on the smaller side, we have a fair value gap at 30,660 and 30,707, and on the higher side, you can see a gap up here at 30,882 to 31,063. Okay, so it looks like this is the obvious area where we're going to be trying to target out a bit of a move to the upside. So again, a long position here, not too bad in my humble opinion. So this is kind of where I'm thinking Bitcoin's next kind of move on the small hourly chart is likely to go. And hopefully this is going to happen today after seeing this one kind of move to the downside, hit a 1.236. So we should be starting to think about his move to the upside. I'm a little bit nervous about that stochastic RSI. Might be a better entry down here. Maybe we'll retest these lows a little bit. Maybe we'll just move on up. It's hard to say. The stochastic RSI is not an indication of price movement, just strength of price movement. It looks like it's weak at the moment, so it's going to be one of those. Keep a close eye and see how it kind of goes. Momentum is obviously supported on the 4-hour chart and the daily chart, so there's some interesting things to go on there. Moving over into our kind of weekly time frame here, you can see that we are still looking at getting rejected from our supply zone, but we have been consolidating in this range. So again, this range being 28,881 to 31,848 is holding incredibly well here. I still think we have the ability to go after that CME gap, slightly higher in the price chart at $35,000, but essentially this does not distract us from a big collapse in the market. I've been through this a few times before, and I'll do it again if I come on over into our CME gaps on the daily time frame. Just make this a little bit clearer. You can see that there's a CME gap up here at $34,000 to $35,000. There's a CME gap down here at $20,000 to $21,000, and then there's a CME gap all the way down here at $9,735 to $9,925. This is the big concern, that we end up with a big 3-wave corrective pattern that takes us down to that CME gap. Now, if I go ahead and take our measurements here, we assume that we hit the $35,000 level. We can see coming down here, our target ranges are basically between $5,000 and $7,500, which would be absolutely brutal. Am I thinking that's something that's going to happen over another years-long bear market? It's a possibility. It's not one that I like the idea of, but it's a possibility nonetheless. And so we need to kind of keep these things in our heads as we kind of think about, maybe a nice healthy retracement down towards $20,000 versus that of a very unhealthy, market disrupting, project dying kind of scenario where we end up with this kind of $9,000 or even a $5,000 BTC. And if we do see those, and that's a massive opportunity, because the next bull run I think will be absolutely massive. I don't personally think we're going to come down that low. I think now, considering BlackRock's ETF and the fact that I think that's going to be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin, that the most likely scenario here is $20,000 to $21,000, and that the bottom is probably now in for BTC. Okay, I could be wrong on this because again, we're not seeing accumulation from the large wealthy investors yet, so that we'll see how they kind of react around $20,000. It all depends on whether or not retail investors are going to panic sell when price comes down to that low level, or whether or not we're going to have to come down and tap into a new lower low before we can actually start to see that accumulation. I don't know. We'll see how it kind of goes. We'll see formations of structures as time progresses as to whether or not these macro levels are likely to get hit. For now, I think we need to enjoy the idea of a move up towards $34,000, $35,000, although it's going to be a bit rocky. I don't think it's going to be straight line jobs or anything like that. And we can see here that we've got this interesting structure also emerging where we will be expecting further downside before we even push up towards our $35,000 level. As we can see here, a 5-wave drop followed by this 3-wave correction up towards $30,000 or $30,700 to $30,800. From here, I would be expecting to short the market on a 5-wave shorting pattern or 5-wave impulsive pattern to create a much larger ABC structure like this. So we know that there's a lot of corrections still to come. Nothing goes in straight lines or anything like that. So we've got some things to enjoy. I think we can probably ride this one up and ride this one down before we can ride it back up again. Okay, so essentially this is a bit of a trader's paradise. Essentially, hodlers are going to kind of feel pain. They're going to kind of get caught out a fair bit, and they're going to feel a little bit more emotional. Traders are going to absolutely love this one, trading all the different directions that Bitcoin has to offer. I think a lot of liquidity is being grabbed from the market, and this is really what institutions are doing during the bear market. And so at the moment, I think things are pretty much following that kind of pattern. Essentially, we're going to see more and more of this liquidity grabbing situation until I think we see price actually move down towards $20,000. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays on out. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I think I'm going to leave this one right there. Just keep it nice and brief. If you have found this useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done out of the way, guys, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
We are not financial advisors, and none of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.